Howdy, my name's Ashton, and this is Cadet Lucas, and he's the one I'll be interviewing today. So he just played the game, and he finished off with $1,096, which I feel is pretty good because when I did my last buddy, he only had like $700. So the first question is, how accurate would you say the game is at representing the experience of the working poor, just based off your own experiences, what you've seen in the world, whatever?
I would say it's pretty accurate because I come from a pretty poor household, and a lot of things I saw in there were pretty fairly accurate to what I've experienced.
All right. So, is there anything about the game experience that surprised you?
I don't know. I wouldn't really say surprised me. I don't know. It kind of just maybe caught me off guard. Maybe about the how much dental stuff would cost, or the whole thing about free and reduced lunches, how some kids would choose not to eat because they're embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
I know I was on free and reduced lunch, but I never felt that way. I was just oh, well, that's the way it is, so I just got to deal with it.
Yeah, that's how I was too. So do you feel that whenever how poor you were, do you feel like this is relatable to you? Do you feel like you related a lot to this? Do you feel like as a kid you knew that your parents were struggling?
Yeah, I felt like I understood a lot of it. I was yeah, I could see that from my own childhood, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because me personally, I lived in a one-bedroom apartment. We struggled a long time. She worked night shifts while at the end of the day would take me to school, and then she would go to school then, and then work night shift all over again. And yeah, that sucked for a while.
Yeah, I know my parents got divorced, and then my mom, she worked 2 jobs, and I had to sometimes walk to school and stuff. I'd go to school sick because I didn't want to miss school and that kind of stuff. And we didn't have money to go to the doctor or the dentist or anything like that, so
yeah,
just kind of figured it out.
Yeah. Is there anything that you think was missing or that you disagreed with while playing? Just from
I don't know, maybe the game doesn't necessarily factor in everything, certain school things, oh, you have to pay for this, for a school field trip or something. Most of the time there's things in schools that'll help kids that if they can't pay for something, they'll cover it for them and stuff like that. So I felt that was kind of a little inaccurate, but for the most part I felt it was pretty spot on.
So in that sense, do you feel like it was important that they kept it more broad and didn't focus in on one area, or do you think it should have been very specific?
Well, for the game, I don't know. I'd say it's kind of good they kept it broad because it it kind of more pinpoints your choices and how you spend your money and save.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you think something is unrealistic with the game, why do you think that game was designed that way? Or do you think the game did not? Why do you think the game did not include certain options?
Yeah, like I was saying kind of in the last question, it's more to kind of drive you to make those decisions on how you spend your money.
Yeah.
Because if they gave almost all the possible scenarios, well, obviously you're not going to spend that much, and you're going to have a lot more choices to save in the long run.
So we did an assignment on Perusal about luck and how luck can play a big role in your success in life. Do you feel that if you were born into an upper middle class family, from either your own experience or from in the game, do you feel like if you're born into that already head start in life, do you feel like you have a much higher chance of succeeding, and do you feel like it changes your life in a very different way? Do you feel like that's luck based?
Sorta. I mean, it kind of depends. Obviously anybody, no matter where they come from, you can succeed in life. You don't have to come from a rich family or anything like that. I say it definitely helps because I know I struggled a lot, especially when it came with getting certain things for school and stuff like that. Obviously you don't have the materials you need to do school and stuff like that, buying a calculator for math or something like that. Yeah. I didn't have that and had to borrow one, so that kind of I had some issues there, but I don't know. There's pros and cons to coming from a rich family, because if you have a rich family, you can have access to all the things you need and stuff. But either way, you can still be successful. It just depends what you do with it yourself.
So they didn't mention anything about the background of that person or anything. So do you feel that race, ethnicity, your whatever your family background, do you think that plays a huge role in your life? And do you feel like it is easier for someone that is born as a like, if you're born as a white middle class person compared to a black middle class person, do you feel like that? You feel like it's easier in life? Do you feel like that plays such a big role in who you are and who you become? Like, do you feel like, or do you feel like if you're white and you were born poor, do you think is it easier to get out of that hole than if you were black and you were born poor?
I don't know. It maybe like depends, like maybe like the area of country you're in. Like
It's a hard question.
Like, yeah, it is. I don't know really, because I know most of the time a lot of black people struggle that are in like poverty or anything like that. A lot of people don't give them a chance because they don't trust them and stuff, and that's just kind of the way it is. But it just kind of depends the area of the country you're in, because either way it could go. But I don't know really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final question is: do you feel like if you're born into a family who come from college, who come from educational backgrounds, do you think that will influence you more to go to college and further your education, or do you feel like it's easier to kind of?
So if like your family, like they went to college prior,
Yeah.
like it would influence your decision to go to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, because there's like that kind of pressure on you. It's like, oh well, my parents did this, and I want to be successful like them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to school and stuff like that. But if you come from like someone who's like, oh well, my parents didn't go to school, they just work for themselves and create their own business, you're probably gonna lean more to do what they did. Like, so, well, it's like, oh well, they're successful, so why do I need to go to college?
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.